Happy New Year. Welcome back to the show where we are kicking off 2025 talking about Nevermore, a band that we have not yet talked about on the show, but there has been a ton happening over the last week or so. It started with both Jeff Loomis and Van Williams posting a teaser on their Instagrams announcing the return of Nevermore happening this year, 2025. And as a quick refresher, if you don't remember, Nevermore originally went on hiatus back in 2011, with the final lineup of the band being Jeff Loomis, Van Williams, bassist Jim Sheppard, and of course vocalist Warrel Dane, also of course from Sanctuary, rest in peace. He unfortunately passed away back in 2017, and I think there have been some talks of potentially reuniting between the 2011 hiatus and then Warrel's passing in 2017. But then when he died, that essentially ended any possibility of a Nevermore reunion up to this point, at least, until the other day when that teaser was put out. But of course, with Warrel Dane gone and no mention of Jim Sheppard in the teaser, that of course prompted many questions, mostly who is going to handle vocals and what is the situation with Jim. We did get an update just a couple of days ago from Jim Sheppard, where he was clearly not too happy with Van Williams and Jeff Loomis firing things back up without any consulting with him, as Jim's wife Priscilla put out a statement detailing her and Jim's feelings on all of this. I believe the original post was actually deleted. It was posted on Facebook, I think, but I was able to grab it from a Metal Injection article, so I'll put it up on the screen here in a second. Here's what Jim Sheppard's wife Priscilla wrote in her statement. Since I have been receiving a few messages from James fans regarding a post Van Williams made on social media, I feel I need to respond to you with an update. James has never been contacted about Van's plans with Jeff using the Nevermore name. I am sorry you think James is involved. We do not know about their plans, and it is completely disrespectful of them to use the name Nevermore without consulting Jim Sheppard, as he is one of the founders of the band. We are waiting for clarification on this alleged project and will proceed from there, whether or not clarification comes from them. No further comment for now. Thank you. Very clearly some hard feelings there. It'll be interesting to see how far Jim and his wife actually go with their displeasure, in terms of a lawsuit or something like that. We'll see. You never know with these types of things. But then moving things forward on New Year's Eve, Van and Jeff released a very, very, very lengthy joint statement explaining their side of things, as well as announced they are looking for both a bassist and a new vocalist. And I do find it a bit strange to announce a reunion when you are down two members. I'm not quite sure why you would announce that when you don't have a singer, you don't have a bass player. I guess maybe if they wanted to use the hype as a way to, I guess, get the word out to the masses, so to speak, for people to audition. I don't really know. I'm also a bit surprised that they're even having auditions open to the public. It's kind of a similar situation with Primus replacing Tim Herb Alexander and then putting out that statement that, you can send in videos of you drumming and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, though, back to Nevermore, Van and Jeff put out this wildly long statement. By no means am I going to read the entire thing here. I mean, this would be like a 20-minute video. It's very, very long, but I will put a link to it down below if you want to read the whole thing for yourself. But here are a few key pieces from Van's portion of the statement. So the Nevermore teaser has sparked a lot of positivity and some expected negativity. Let me, Van, address the negative first. Some people think it's disrespectful not to involve Jim or inform him of our plans. But those who feel that way don't know the history of the band or the behind-the-scenes dynamics that led to this decision. While it may not have been the most ideal approach, the reality is that there hasn't been communication with Jim in years. We felt that sometimes, for the sake of a fresh start, it's necessary to move on from relationships that may no longer be conducive to growth or new beginnings. We made this decision with the intention of honoring the legacy of the band while moving forward in a way that felt right for us at the time. That said, we wish him good health and he is free to pursue whatever path he chooses. Without going into too much detail, I'll just say respect goes both ways, and certain things became irreconcilable over time for us. At this point in my life, I don't feel the need to explain myself further on this, so take from that what you will. Van then continues, the final breaking point came during the last leg of our European tour with Symphony X, after which it was clear we couldn't continue as we were. After years of us building the best band we could for ourselves, we couldn't get on the same page to fix it. Jeff and I went one way, Warrel and Jim went another. There was no reconciliation. Warrel went to Brazil, Jim retired to Alaska, and years passed without contact. For those calling this a money grab, I have to disagree. Most musicians don't do this for the money. We've spent countless hours through the years sweating, rehearsing, performing, and recording simply because we love it. This is what we chose to do in life because we've always loved it. That's what drives us, the passion for music, the connection with fans, and the creative process. If money comes from that, great, but it has never been the focus, but we also have bills to pay like you. I wish the situation with Jim were different, but the past has brought us here. I am personally focusing on positivity and positive people, and will refuse to get tangled in the negativity of the past. If Jeff and I can find the right vocalist and bassist, musicians who respect the legacy and want to move forward with us, then this new chapter can be something truly special for all who choose to come along with us. This isn't going to be a cover band or a tribute band. It's going to be the next evolution and chapter of a band determined to pick up the flag and carry on this thing we call Nevermore. That is literally just a portion of the statement. It's a very, very long read. And again, that's only Van's part. I'll put Jeff's up on the screen now, but he really just reiterates what Van said and then goes into audition info for potential vocalists and bassists, which, you know, we won't get into all that here. But again, the whole thing is linked below. If you are someone who by chance is interested in auditioning for Nevermore, I do want to point out though, you know, in Van's portion of the statement, he says if he and Jeff can find the right musicians, keyword if. I guess, again, I'm just really not sure why you would tease a reunion without having all or at least most of the pieces in place. Again, like I mentioned, maybe it's to drum up interest for auditions or something, but it still doesn't make a ton of sense. And saying if also implies that it's possible that this thing doesn't happen at all. And then, you know, all of this was for nothing. So who really knows? And then right off the rip, I mean, it's already getting messy with Jim Sheppard. So it will be interesting to see where that could potentially go, if anywhere. I mean, you know, they also say in that statement that supposedly Jim retired. You know, maybe that's true. Maybe he doesn't want to tour anymore. Still wants a piece of the pie, I'm sure. I don't know. That's pure speculation. Again, we'll have to see what happens and how far Jim may be willing to take any of his frustrations. But as for new members of Nevermore, let me know who you think should be playing bass and doing vocals for this potential Nevermore reunion. But that's all I got for you for right now. Thanks so much for hanging out. Feel free to drop a like and subscribe below if you feel like it, and I'll see you next time.